we are going to be taking a look at something special today. So those of you who know what this is, know what this is. And those of you who have been around a while should know what this is. So this is my fully restored, fully functional, fully upgraded Dell XPS M1710. So this is a piece of gaming history, guys. This, for like 3 years, if you talked about gaming laptops, this is the laptop you were talking about, okay? I mean, there were a few other models on the market. I actually had something else, but for the most part, this was the laptop that everybody was really like, this was the mainstream option. Like I said, there was a few other options. You had Alienware back then. You had Falcon Northwest. You had a few other stuff, but this is what most people went with. So this laptop, brand new. So let me go over the specs first. So this is fully spec'd out. So this has the, well, I'm sorry, no, it's one processor short of spec'd out. It doesn't have the overclockable chip. They did offer one overclockable model. So this has the T7600 Core 2 Duo versus the T7600G. The G was the overclocked version. This does have the top video card. This has a, God, how the hell do you say it? The Nvidia GeForce Go 7950 GTX. If I remember correctly, this was the first 512 megabyte video card ever put in a gaming laptop, if I remember right. I think, yeah, because at the time this was the top model, and the model below this, I believe, was 256 gigabytes. So this was before we had features like we didn't have backlit keyboards back then. This was one generation before you started seeing backlit keyboards in high-end consumer laptops like this. This does have the absolutely gorgeous Dell. It's probably a Sharp branded panel, but the 1920 by 1200, 17.3. No, they weren't 17. I think they were just straight up 17 back then. So WUXGA was the thing. So this is 1920 by 1200, not 1920 by 1080. So it's a little bit higher, or has a little bit more vertical resolution than most of the laptops today. Although some of them are starting to go back to this. You are starting to see this on some new laptops again. So this does have the black back cover, which, you know, there was a red option and a black option. The red option was kind of the more, the red option was like the Ferrari option. It kind of had those vibes to it, whereas the black was a little more laid back. These are, I believe, this was one of, if not the first implementations of some kind of RGB LED. I'm not sure how they did it, because you can change the color on these. I'm not sure how they did it, because I didn't think we actually had true RGB LED back then, so I don't know if they just had, I don't know, because some of the colors are colors that I don't think we had as standalone colors for LEDs. So I'm not entirely certain how they did it, but you can go in and change the color on these. There's blue, green, you can mix the colors if you want. It's not like a full color wheel like you get on some of the newer ones, but there's quite a few options. It's got them, let's see, so it's got the ones on here. It's got in the front speaker grills, and it's got on the sides here. And this thing is fully functional. This laptop has even a working battery. I believe a Dell original working battery. I think when I looked at the stuff on it, it showed something like 80% use in it. So it only showed, or no, it was like 30. I think it was like 25 or 30% wear level when I looked at it. It's definitely holding a charge though. I have it loaded with Windows 7. Typically these would have come new with either XP in 2006, or you would have started seeing Vista in 2007 on these. Most people, if I remember right, typically ran them with Windows XP. Nobody really wanted Vista, and it was known to affect video or gaming performance. Some people ran it if you needed your full 4 gigs of RAM. I think you had to run Vista 64 just to get your full 4 gigs of RAM. This does have 4 gigs of RAM in it. Like I said, totally spec'd out. I did add an SSD. Back in the day, I would have run this with a 250 gig hard drive, which was just becoming available. That was the biggest size available back then. But I am definitely going to do some game demo with this. I think I did. Well, it's kind of hard to do because the only digital video out option on it is DVI. And so I can't get audio out of it. So we're probably not going to have audio. Maybe. I might try to rig a 3.5-inch jack, but probably, maybe we'll have audio. But we'll definitely do some game demo with it. At the time that this was new, this was actually released right around Crysis. So Crysis hit the market in 2007, and this particular laptop also hit the market in 2007. So they had the original model, which was black with the back here was it wasn't mirror, but it was a silver. It was like a metallic silver. You may remember these from Stargate SG-1, and that was the one that they first used on SG-1. So you'll see scenes, if you pay attention on SG-1, you'll see scenes where Samantha Carter is running around with one of these things. It's pretty awesome. I think they may have used these ones later on, maybe in Atlantis. I can't remember if they used these in Stargate Atlantis or not. I think they used some older Inspirons for those, actually. So they had that, which was 2005. Then in 2006, this first hit the market, but I believe it first hit the market with the GeForce 7900 Go and the 2000 series chips. So T2500, 2600, maybe 2700. This is the second gen version of this, released in 2007. So these got the upgraded GeForce Go 7950 GTX, and they also got the 7000 series CPU, which this has, being the 7600. I had the Inspiron version of this laptop. It's the same basic body, but it doesn't have this fancy looking lid. It doesn't have the lights and all the flashies. It had a kind of similar lower performance video card, the 7900 GS. It was kind of considered to be the budget gaming option back then. And I think I owned actually a couple of those over the years. They were good laptops. These are generally regarded to be fairly durable. This laptop is like 18 years old or something. So durable's an understatement, to say the least. This actually is also a good example of why Microsoft is trying to kill the ability to run some newer Windows versions on older computers, because this is what's happening now. Hardware has been so good for so long that it just doesn't die. A lot of the hardware just won't friggin' die. And this is kind of an example of that. I did test the video card a little while back, and it did perform at the level I would expect for fully functional. So I'm going to guess, I could be wrong, but based on the condition that this particular unit is in, I got this from a recycle event that I did with some friends several years ago, and it's just kind of been sitting on the shelf, and I just kind of decided, you know what? Today is the day. I didn't build this channel just to bitch about Windows 11. I built this channel for this kind of stuff. I want to be able to show this kind of stuff off. So I think that there's going to be a lot of interest in this. This video is probably not going to get crap for views. These ones generally don't, but I'm making it anyway because that's really what I'm here for, is cool hardware. So we'll do probably some Crysis 1. I did do some testing maybe a year ago on this thing, and I think I was able to get it to run it. I don't know. I think if I turn the settings all the way down and the resolution all the way down, I think I was able to get it to run it low at an acceptable frame rate. And I don't remember what all the way down was for resolution, but if I remember right, I was able to get it to run at a playable level and a playable resolution with all of the settings turned all the way down. So, but let me know if you guys see this and there's anything you want to know about this laptop. Let me know. This is in my personal collection, so this isn't going anywhere. This is an absolute piece of gaming history at this point. Like gaming laptops. This was like the very first generation that these things were really starting to become mainstream and a real option. Before these, they were far more niche. And a lot of people even bought these that weren't using them to game on. A lot of people just bought them because they needed a powerful laptop. Today we have different options. But anyway, I hope you guys find this interesting. And again, if you have questions about the laptop, let me know and I will try to answer them because again, like I said, this is not going anywhere. This is a piece of history. It will be with me probably till I die because I want to have this stuff on hand. So if I die, who wants it? Anyway, thanks for watching the video.